I spent 20 grand to make 7 grand. This is why a lot of people don't go this strategy when they're in the very beginning. I mean, they're guaranteed to make their money right here, yes. Right? They've made their this is where they make their money. Most people can't close a deal to save their life. Now, here's the problem. Most people don't want to invest in themselves. So like I could tell somebody, they go, how do I get started? I go, I saw an ad on Instagram this morning of a company that says they will let you pay for your leads after you close a deal, right? And so I'm like, oh wow, that's really smart, except there's a challenge there, right? Here's the challenge. You've got inbound leads, right? An inbound lead means the seller sees a postcard, maybe a billboard, a piece of mail, or let's say PPC. PPC is like a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad, or something like that. Seller sees all of these and they have your phone number on it and they call you. And that's an inbound lead, so it comes into you. So it's better than an outbound lead because the seller is calling you saying, hey, I saw your thing, I want to sell my house, right? It's a higher quality lead. What most people do is they don't want to do this type of lead generation because it's very, very expensive. Okay, for 3 years, I spent roughly $20,000 a month on these types of strategies. And the most important KPI that I ever tracked was cost per contract. Okay, cost per contract is the most important KPI to follow. Cost per contract. Okay, so if you are doing $20,000 a month in advertising and you only get 2 contracts, Eric, what's your cost per contract? $20,000, I got 2 contracts, what's my cost per contract? $10,000. Okay, so $10,000 was the cost per contract on average for somebody that's doing these types of strategies. If the average assignment fee is $15,000, how much am I making per transaction? $5,000. Okay, so let's take $5,000 times 2. That means that entire month I made $10,000 minus miscellaneous expenses. So my miscellaneous expenses were like my car payment, my cell phone, my car insurance, all of the other ancillary things that I need to be in business besides marketing. And so you end up maybe having another $3,000 of expenses, maybe a transaction coordinator, those types of things, and you end up making $7,000. So that means I spent 20 grand to make 7 grand. This is why a lot of people don't go this strategy when they're in the very beginning, because when you get really good at closing deals, that $20,000 actually turns into 4 contracts because you know what the hell you're doing, right? So this is more of an advanced strategy, not because the leads aren't good, but because you haven't gotten to a point where you're good enough to handle these leads. So when I was doing this, I was averaging about 4 contracts a month. Those contracts I was getting was from that $20,000. I was also getting another 4 contracts a month outside of that. So referrals from other people, JV deals, etc. My cost per contract was $5,000 per contract, which is still really, really high. Okay, but if I'm out there cold calling and I'm texting and I'm doing outbound, it's a very different strategy. So I'm going out there and I'm spending money on cold callers. So let's say I hire somebody from startvirtual.com. That's who we use. And that person's gonna be like $1,300 a month, full-time employee, $1,300 a month. That person with another, let's say $1,500 in cost of a list, like a foreclosure list or probate or whatever, it's gonna be about $3,000 roughly. I know my math doesn't add up for the people that work for Motorola and are like, hey, that's $2,800. Relax, it's roughly 3,000 bucks. So if I'm spending $3,000, every virtual assistant can get 2 contracts on an outbound campaign, okay? Now, because it's an outbound campaign, the lead quality is different, the strategy is different. You end up averaging $13,000 per assignment, not $15,000 per assignment. However, look at this. If my cost per contract, what's my cost per contract now? $1,500. So which way would you rather go? The cost per contract that's $10,000 for the average direct mail postcard campaign? Or do you want to go the cost per contract, which is cold calling and texting, which is about $1,500 per contract? Which way would you rather go? Cheaper route. Now, what this company that I just had a conversation with is saying, is they're saying, you don't have to pay for any of this until you actually have a closed transaction, and then we get half of the deal. Okay, that sounds like a pretty amazing solution to somebody who's just starting out that doesn't have $20,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 a month. And so I'm gonna kind of go through and see if what they're saying is real, if their advertisement is fake, or if maybe it's legit. I don't know. And basically what he's telling me is they have 2 programs. One program is you pay a small amount of money for the leads, and then you pay a larger chunk when the deal closes. And then there's another one where you pay 0 on the leads, but you pay a massive chunk on the back end of the deals. He was just taking me through his vetting process, and now they're going to put me on a Zoom. So we'll see what this looks like. But I've never seen a company doing this, that they'd be willing to spend this kind of money. Think about this. If a new person comes into my funnel, right, for this company, and my company has to go and pay all the cost of these things, and I'm giving the leads to somebody who has not been in the business for 5 years or 10 years, they've been in the business for 5 months, I'm going to lose a crap ton of money. So I think there's going to be a hidden cost. I think there's going to be an upfront cost. I think there's going to be a management cost. I think there's going to be a bunch of hidden fees that make it make sense for them to make money on this, because it doesn't make sense to me logically that they would pay for all of these expenses for people that don't know how to close deals. I had a call with the owner today, and the owner was like, oh, no, we vet the people really, really well. We give them really great training. I'm like, oh, wow. So y'all are training these people too. Like, not only are you giving them the leads and letting them pay you after the deal is closed, but you're training them? Does that sound like a logical business decision? Like a scalable business decision? Any of you guys? We have students shadowing me today, by the way.
Hello.
I mean, it sounds suspect to me. So I'm going to go through. I think he's going to try and get me on a Zoom maybe another day. Let's see. He's like, oh, you're hopping on. Dude, how am I supposed to know I'm hopping on? So I'm going to jump on the Zoom right now.
So $2,500, that's all it costs? No hidden fees, no...
So here's how it'll work.
There's got to be something, though.
I mean, there was. So the thing that was hidden that they didn't talk about is $4,800 up front, plus $375 per month. I just paid that. So I just paid $5,000. Like, that's what he took my credit card for. And then $2,500 a month every month after that. And that $2,500 will be divided by roughly $50. So what is that? 100 leads?
Yeah.
Is that 100 or what is that?
No, that's 50.
Okay, so 50 leads, yeah. So 50 leads for $2,500. So every month that I want that, they'll send me 50 leads that are inbound leads. So it'll be a seller saying, I want to sell my house. I got to find somebody that wants to do that.
I have my house with me, bro.
Do you think you can handle those leads?
Well, off of your YouTube channel, I closed 3 deals creatively.
Should we have Red and Donda share these leads?
Let's do it.
Yeah. You want to be their transaction coordinator?
Oh gosh.
Yes, there she is. Well, I have my TC too within this up too.
Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll have you take those leads,
Okay.
and I'll give them to you for 90 days. Okay. So I'll spend $7,500 plus the 5. I'll pay about 13, 14 grand. The number that he said, let's see. So it would basically bring in, like, a very conservative number is that should bring in $33,000 a month.
So 10x.
Yeah, it'll 10x it, but then they want $1,000 out of that per every deal. They want $1,000.
Right.
Okay. I mean, they're guaranteed to make their money right here.
Yes.
Right? They've made this is where they make their money. Most people can't close a deal to save their life, right? You won't have that problem. You've been only doing outbound leads, right?
Well, I raised money to bring partners, yes.
But where did the deal come from? Was it direct to seller?
The deal that I just bought was off of my YouTube channel.
Okay, so it was an inbound lead.
That was the inbound lead. The first 3 deals was just MLS, DTA, direct agent.
Okay, got it. So direct to agent. So you're going to have, these leads are people that are like, I don't want to work with an agent. I want to work with an investor. These are the highest quality lead you can get your hands on, okay? So you live here now, or you're here temporarily?
I can be anywhere because I have my house. I have my home on wheels here now, so I'm here now.
Okay. What you guys have to figure out is this, right? So I'll be an investor in this.
Okay.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to make sure every call that we have is recorded so that we can share this. What I want to do is after 90 days, I want to be able to tell the Subto community, like, here's what this looked like. Here's the quality of leads that came in. These 50 leads that came in, 10 of them were not even real good sellers, but 40 of them, we had great conversations. We ended up getting 2 under contract. We sold them here. We made blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
right? So all I want you guys to do is document it, and I'm an investor, so here's what I want. I want my initial investment of $15,000 back, and I want $500 per transaction. That's the best deal you're ever going to get in your life. It's not even worth my time at that point. And if it all fails, then who cares? Well, it won't fail. It's inbound leads. Like inbound leads are the best quality leads ever. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to go to one of you guys' phones. Somebody's got to pick up the phone every single time. Inbound leads are immediate. Like somebody put in the information. If they don't talk to you within 2 minutes, they're calling somebody else. Okay, so there's that. And then one of you guys, probably Donda, needs to do the lead follow-up. So as he's handling the phone on the inbound lead, you need to do the follow-up like the day after or after his appointments or whatever else. And you guys work as a team. And you guys figure out the split on those deals. After 90 days, we'll reassess and see if we want to keep doing it. Okay. Do you see what happens when you hang out with me for like 3 hours?
Love it.
Yeah, of course.
You'll do the call on Monday. You'll do the onboarding call, or both of you guys can do the onboarding call, and I'll get you connected with them. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, we'll follow up. This is part 1 of a 90-day story that we're going to tell. And we're going to have Big Red, we're going to have Donda as the team. Now, here's the problem. Most people don't want to invest in themselves. So like I could tell somebody, they go, how do I get started? I go, spend money and you'll have leads. It's that simple. But the problem is people don't want to do that. They want to go do everything for free. And that does work. However, it's hard to scale a free system, right? Because there's all these calls you have to do. Like direct to agent,
I was doing that on my own.
if you're not making calls, guess what happens? There's no leads coming in. But when you have something like this, you have leads coming in no matter what. So you, at some point in your business, your real estate business, you have to just spend money. And it takes a while for people to get to that point to feel comfortable going, okay, I now have $10,000, but I'm going to give all of that money up to generate more leads to make my next $10,000. That's a really like hard thing that's a hard pill for people to swallow. So hopefully this video is going to be good for you guys. You guys will be watching this somewhere in 2026 probably. Deals on Wheels with Red and Donda. Hey guys, in the comments, please say Donda about 1,000 times. If you guys have heard the Donda album, you know what I'm talking about. We'll see you in part 2.
And then it's E_Miller with ones as the L's.
How do you spell your first name?
EVITA.